All right, good morning. So, last week we saw the face from the side, the head from the side. I forgot to mention a couple of things. So, one is this the nasion, the position of the nasion in relation to the pupil, it's a little bit higher than that, right? Not necessarily this side, could be lower, could be a little bit higher, but it's typically in a Caucasian nose, always a little bit higher than the pupil. So in here, I also want to block in the base of the neck here, right? Coming down at an angle like this. This is basically the first rib where the neck connects with the rib cage. At this point in here, I have the collarbone coming back like this, and this is the sternum, this is the back spine. The head of the humerus is going to be here. Show you. See the highest point in here, coming down from the highest point in here, going just behind the jawline, and the ear we have seen is going to be positioned posteriorly to that, right? Posteriorly to the jawline and to the center line of gravity. In an erect position, the head of the humerus is going to be behind the center line of gravity and below the clavicle here. So this is where I'm going to attach the arm, right? Another structure that we need today is just below the base of the skull, just behind the ear. There's a bump in here. That bump is called mastoid process. It's a bone, and that's what it is, right? That's the bone. I need this because that's where the sternocleidomastoid muscle will attach. So let's look now at the face from the front. So I want to draw an ovoidal form, and I could do it a little bit more elongated or a little bit rounder. I go for the elongated, but we can subdivide the humanity in two types of heads, right? One is a little bit rounder like this, and the ratio of height to width of this head is typically, it's close to 3/4, right? And this one instead, the more elongated face, is 2/3, meaning the the width. The ratio of the height and width are 1 to 2/3. So why do I need that? Because when I look at somebody, I want to find immediately parameters. Am I looking at this person and saying, oh, that person's face is more elongated or a little bit rounder? So when I draw, I already know what type of frame I have to build, where to position the facial features. So now in here, what I could do, I could draw a circle in here, more or less, right? And with good approximation, this will be a third, 1, 2, 3, a third of the total length. I need this because at the lower third, I find the base of the nose. At the upper third, right, here, I'm going to have more or less the brow ridge. So the face, as is also described by Leonardo, is about 2/3. The face, meaning from the brow ridge to the chin, 2/3 of the total height of the head, right? So I block in the brow ridge in here, and the nose, it looks a little bit too long. No, that should be okay. So the nasion is going to be a little bit below the line of the brow ridge, right? So see this point in here. This is the brow ridge. The nasion is here, right? A little bit lower than that, okay? So you see also this V here. So I'm going to create this V here, and now I know that my eyes, the irises, are going to be a little bit lower than that point. So my eyes are going to be along this line in here. So this line in here, where my pupils are going to be, should be slightly above the midpoint, right? So let's see. Yeah, that's good. See that? Meaning the proportion of this lower part of the face, actually the measurement of this part of the face is slightly bigger than the top, okay? With variation. So now I can block in the nose in here, the mouth. We have seen last week how the mouth is going to be, I don't like it. It's going to be not halfway between the nose and the chin. It's going to be a little bit higher than that, right? So the halfway would be here, even less than that. The mouth is above the midpoint, higher than the midpoint, right? Meaning the upper lip is all the fleshy part. It goes from basically the base of the nose to here, right? Not just the fleshy part of the lips in here. Is this one here is smaller than this portion in here, okay? So now, if I don't make the proportion forehead to face correct, the subject will look like a troglodyte, right, with a small sloping forehead. Okay, so now, now we have positioned the basic features, eyes, nose, and mouth. And now let's see the neck, right? We're gonna add the neck here and here. And then the length of the neck is going to be variable, greatly variable, depending on person to person. So, but typically is about 1/3 of the total, of the height of the head, right? About 1/3. Quite a few people have a longer neck than that, right? So you look at your subject and relate it to the size of the face, and then see you have a correct proportional relationship between the neck and the face. Let's look now at the angle. Now I have an egg, no, upside down egg. Oh, clavicles, right here, and trapezius. So the widest point, right, the widest point of the head is going to be here, about at the upper third, about at the level of the brow ridge. So, meaning this is the widest point. From here I go narrower, from here I go narrower, right? So now let's find the other point. I go down until I find the corner of the jaw. Where is the corner of the jaw? It can be in various positions. So in what I want to do, I want to relate this change of angle here to the mouth. Is it above the mouth? Is it below the mouth? Where is it? So let's say it's at the level of the lower lip, right? And then you're going to see in your subject exactly where it is. So this is the widest point. This is the corner of the jaw. That's the chin, right? There's another angle here, right? At this point in here, I have another change here, right? And that's the temporal ridge. Temporal ridge here, and then you could draw a whole nice curved top, or you could break it in further planes. Really, it's up to you, right? So this will give me the, sorry, my cat wants to get out, but I'm not gonna now. So now at this point in here, I have the brow ridge, right? And the nasion. And this point in here, the temporal ridge, will give me the top of the side plane. So from here, I go down here, right, to the point where the upper margin of the orbit turns on the side. From here now, I want to go down to this, to the chin, right? And now I have the side plane, the frontal plane, and the top plane are not defined yet. So what I do is more or less where this line of the temporal ridge curves here to go toward the side, I find the division between the top plane and the frontal plane. Okay, so once you block in the eyes, which we have seen are just above the midpoint. Now let me see if I have it right. Yeah, the top could be a little bit bigger, but that's fine. I'm gonna reduce the chin. Now I have the brow ridge here, I have the nasion, I have the glabella. This is the glabella. All these terms you're gonna find in the books. I don't wanna waste time writing down names for now. So the wings of the nose, the tip of the nose, the nasolabial furrow, the upper lip, right, and the lower lip, right. Eyelid, and you see how our creature now start taking shape, no? The corner of the mouth, I have two little nodules, right? And below the lips in here, I have the pillars of the mouth, because the lips will below the lip in here. See how this portion goes down like this and create a shaded area, and sorry, and that's what it is, right? This shaded area. Now I want to start introduce actually the ears. Let's put the ears on. So the ears are going to be between the brow ridge and the nose, more or less as a measurement, right? So here, but depending if I move the head up or down, the ears are going to be related differently to the proportions of the face. Okay, so now I want to introduce the neck, right? Because next video I want to go over the neck. So I need to know where the mastoid process is, because the sternocleidomastoid goes from the sternocleidoclavicle and mastoid process. So it does this, meaning the name of this muscle will tell me origin and insertion. So origin of the sternocleidomastoid is the sternoclavicle, and the mastoid process is the insertion. This muscle, which is that beautiful muscle that makes that V, right, it's very, very elegant, and goes just behind the ear here, so you can really see this muscle in here when you turn the head right and left, pops up. So now this is the top of the sternum, right? This is the clavicle or collarbone, and this is the manubrium, right? So now the base of the skull, imagine this. This is the head, the cranial volume, and this is the facial mask, right? The the mastoid process is going to be just at the base here of the cranium, but behind the jaw, so you don't see it, right? So it's at the base of the cranium here, there. You don't see it from the front, but it's going to be just back behind the jaw at the base of the cranium. So knowing this, I know that the ear, see that the mastoid process is just behind the ear. So if I saw the ear, if I know where the ear is, I know that the sternocleidomastoid will start from just behind the ear and behind the jaw, and will go here to the corner here of the side of the manubrium of the sternum, the top of the sternum, leaving this portion here empty. That is the jugular fossa, right? And so now I go from here down to here like this, right? Down to here like this, and then there's a flat portion of this muscle in here, right? So down like this, and down like that, right? So this portion here tend to be chunkier. This portion tend to be flatter. This is going to be the the neck basically, and that is the trapezius, right? So some of you asked me to start addressing the neck, so this is good part of it, but I'm going to show you also a side view of the neck next with the next video. And in the meanwhile, practice drawing these little schematic views of the face.